Just purchased this recently. One of the auto stores down the road had this on special, $100 off. So I figure, why not? It's the well, I'll show you here. So this was actually just under 150 Australian dollars, and let's just see what I'll just pull this thing about. This is the size of the unit, and that's why I actually was wanting to purchase it, because check that out, tiny. It's great. I don't want any of these big bulky units. Yeah, fits in the palm of my hand. Fantastic. Yeah. Obviously, there is bits and bobs for mounting, and and of course the speaker unit itself. You can see the size comparison. Okay, so now that you've seen the unit, and here it is again, I'm looking at options and how I'm going to install that into the Disco. Obviously, when I started looking around, I thought I'd really like the idea of it being up here. But then, of course, I thought, well, I've got this here, don't I? So it's I might as well just make use of my dash pod. It does mean, though, what I'm going to do is effectively take these three out, and the coolant level alarm, and flip this around so that basically all these gauges will be on this side, and then that'll give me enough room to fit that there inside. So you can see there's plenty of room given the width. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is the reason why I wanted it here instead of up on the top there was that because I've got all the wiring here. So you've probably seen the earlier videos when I install these gauges that I actually put this in there, which is basically a power hub. It's got its own fuses, as you can see. And so what I'll be doing is just wiring it up to one of the power supplies. And then I've got the earth here. I know it's a bit crude, a bit rudimentary, I know, but it does the job. And so it's going to make it a whole lot easier in terms of wiring it up and positioning it and all that kind of stuff. So that's it for that. All right, so what I've done is I've taken one unit at a time out. Obviously I had to undo the all the cables. Then I took it out, and then I just temporarily added these in so I wouldn't forget what the setup is. And of course I took some photos as well. So there's the unit. And effectively now I need to change it so that it's that away. And I'll flip the turbo gauge around, and so it'll sit like that with the UHF in this section here. With these templates, the best thing to do is to actually tape the entire lot, front and back, because that way when you're actually cutting into it and so on, the paper won't tear. Okay, this time I'm going to be doing this out of aluminium. So the idea is to position that, and I've already done one already, which I kind of stuffed up. I'll show you that one there. Now, where I stuffed this up was basically I've only allowed for the edges there, but not an edge on the top and bottom here. I want to fold these down to give it that strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it again and allow for a top edge and two side edges. Fold those first, and once I've got those folded, then I'll cut the holes out, I think. All right, so measured and cut. And that'll include the areas on the sides and top and bottom to be able to be folded to give that strength that I was talking about earlier on. Now I might actually do the holes first, because I think if I bend the edges first, then it's probably going to be more difficult for me to do the holes later. So I'll do that first. Okay, so it's all now measured and taped up. That should keep it in position while I now center punch the main areas, and I'll also do the edge so that I know where to fold. But yeah, we'll do the next stage. Okay, so center punch those, and I think what I'm going to use is the chisel to effectively go and start marking the edges off. And what that'll do as well is it'll obviously peel off the paper. So I'll go around every single edge, aside from the circle of course, and the two circles. Just do that. Okay, here it is. Next thing to do is the two holes here. And once I've got that, I'll be able to take the template off, because I've got the markings for me to cut with. Alright, so drilled, hole sawed, and the others have been marked. So I'll now remove the template. And now that'll give me, as you can see from the cuts I've done with the chisel, will give me the markings for me to start cutting these out. Okay, so I've cut and measured these against the actual gauges, and just used a file to fine-tune the sizes. They are a little bit bigger than the gauges, but I'm hoping to be able to use the material to fold in when I put the gauges in. Next step is to cut these edges here, because then that'll allow me to effectively fold them across. Right, edges cut, ready to fold these four edges here. Well, here's the end result. All four corners have been knocked in to give that stability that I need, and all I did was I just used this kind of clamp here, and then I just slowly bent it, moving it across until I got all the way there. Very slow and tedious, but well worth it, because hopefully that's it, then I don't have to touch it. There is a slight bow, you can probably see that, but given the fact that I was working on it manually, I'm actually quite happy with the end results. So now I'm going to have to get the vinyl put on here, so I have to get some spray on glue, and then I'll put the vinyl on, and once I've done that, then I'll put all the instruments back together. Alright, so the next step is, got the vinyl there, and I've got the glue, so I'm just going to spray this area and put that on there to glue, and I'm just going to then fold these up. Obviously going to have to cut them first because I don't need all that excess there, but just going to fold that up there and yeah, glue the sides as well and hold them down with pegs. But as I said, I'll just cut that to a more appropriate size. Right, so just before I spray, I've just cut out the template so that these will just fold across and glue, hopefully. Alright, I just sprayed that. Now the instructions say to leave for about a minute for both, and then I'll just turn it around and place it, and then I'll start pegging her up. There he goes. So what we've done, as I said, we sprayed it, and then I've pegged it up. So, and later on I'll be cutting them out, but in the meantime I'll just let that set. Okay, so as I said before, I cut the vinyl inside. You can see how I've cut the vinyl there, and all the gauges came in with a very, very firm fit, which is what I wanted. And this is what it's going to look like. So pretty happy with that. Let's just hope I don't have to repeat this exercise again. So the next step is to put that in there. I'm going to be drilling a hole through here, which will coincide with the edging on the sides there, and I'm just going to put a self-tapper. And then that way I can take the face off or take the body off if I need to, like I've been doing beforehand. Okay, so yeah, it's night time, I know, it's been taking me all day, got distracted, but anyway, there's the face as I showed you beforehand. I've actually got the UHF in there, got the handset there. I'm just running this at the back here just to test it, but obviously I'll make a hole in the top cover for the cable to go through. So yep, got to connect it up here. Now I know it's a real mess, the wiring, and I do hope one day to be able to kind of get in there and do it properly, but at this point in time I'm not going to attempt to do it. But anyway, it's all there, and I'll just put the top on and show you the end result. Well, here she is, the final product. It's okay, but I'm not, it's actually, this face here is actually warped, so I'm going to have to do something about that, and also do something about the vinyl trimming here as well, which was a see the glue's coming out there, which was a hangover from last time anyway. But overall I think it's looking pretty good. Certainly does the job. Okay, well I hope you got something out of this video, and as always, thanks for watching.